Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Coach Kirubai, look at you.
Coach Elizabeth, we have not seen each other for some time now.
I know, right? Especially not in this setting.
It's a different setting in a different place. After nearly 4 months of taking a break.
Kirubai, are you serious? We've been off for 4 months?
Yeah, mm, I went away for the month of
Yeah.
June, and then it was summer, and I thought we needed a much deserved break to recoup, to relax, and to get our thoughts in order. And unfortunately, last week we were supposed to come together, and then there was this power failure. But you know something, audience? We missed you so much.
We did.
We missed you so much. And we are happy to be here in in confidence culture conversations.
Honestly, I know that there's people out there who have missed these conversations. So thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you for checking in on us.
Yeah, there's a lot of incognito viewers,
Mm,
and we appreciate them. Appreciate them. It's totally fine if somebody's listening to us or touching lives. And you know what? We are going on the air in India. The recordings are,
wow.
yeah, it's running in India. So somebody's watching, and we are touching lives. The most important thing is we are touching lives,
That's it.
enriching lives. Yeah.
That's it. So thank you in advance to everyone who's going to tune in today. And yeah, we're excited. We're excited to be back. And actually, today's topic just fits in really well. But before we go into the topic today, Kirubai, what have been some of the highlights for you, or the things that you have been involved with in the past couple of months while we've been off air?
I mean, as I said, the whole month of June I was in Malaysia, and during the time I was privileged to organize a prayer conference there. And then I had some time, just about 10 days, just relaxing, going for a break with my mom. And lo and behold, a week before I left, I fell sick.
Oh
In
no.
fact, all three of us, mom, myself, and Robert. So it was quite. I've never felt so sick before, but before I got on the plate, I was all right. So thank God for that. But when I landed, I was hit so badly with jet lag. The whole month of July, I was like all over the place. Didn't know what was going on. You know, I'm not a young girl anymore, Elizabeth. I need to accept the fact that, age is catching on. Yes, we try to keep active and all, but it has taken a toll. This traveling jet lag took a
Hmm.
toll on me. And I had to revalue my life. I said, where am I going wrong health wise? Even though I'm very careful, so the whole month of July, I was trying to um, get my body in alignment. When you go back to Malaysia, you kind of go with the flow, eat everything. And you know what? You can't do that as get on with age. Elizabeth, you can. You got to be very, very mindful of what you put in your mouth,
Hmm.
as I would say. So coming back in July, it was quite trying. August was another time that I was trying to discover what was going on, not being able to get appointment with NHS, my GP.
Wow.
But then I was patient, and finally, beginning of September, I found out that vitamin D, you see, I had just come back from Malaysia where the sun is shining throughout the day. Eh, But you know what? For those viewers who are out there, there's something not right with especially women, vitamin D is so important. And you might say, oh, I'm getting the sunshine. You know what? Not enough, especially those of brown skin. It doesn't absorb. So you need to have supplements. So that got sorted. I feel normal now, Elizabeth. So I've gone back to being good. Take my all my vitamins. So it's been just been spending time at home because I was giddy all over. Can you imagine me falling in the tube?
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, or the bus, you just miss a step, but I thank God. That's been my nearly 4 months of episodes with my health and sorting out myself, taking all my right vitamins. And you know what? Acknowledging the fact that, we are getting on, but embracing it and doing the right thing for our bodies. So that's enough of my nattering this evening. But Elizabeth, I know you've had an exciting time with having a break with Tunji and Janaya. It was summer holidays, right?
Absolutely. Do you know what? It's been a crazy couple of months, but crazy in the sense that we got to sort of pause on the busyness and just be in the moment, which I think is always good for the summer. It's just an opportunity to take a step back and just take things a little bit slower, slow down your pace, enjoy the sunshine, breathe in the air, enjoy the flowers, that sort of thing. And it was really good for that, being able to spend time with Janaya, doing little activities here and there. That was really good. And spending time with family, and as September kicked off, it's like school started, speaking engagements resumed, and we were here, there, and yeah, we're just on the move. Hi, Rita. Thank you so much for joining us. Are you joining from Uganda? Let us know because your name sounds Ugandan. But thank you for joining us on LinkedIn. It's great to have you in here. So yeah, no, it's been a good couple of months, and I think I appreciated being off. Like, I appreciated the pressure not being there for showing up for confidence culture conversations, because it meant Tuesday evenings were just free and you could just have some family time. So yeah, it was good. And obviously last week, that was I was I sat down on Tuesday morning and I was trying to make sure our studio was ready, make sure the techie stuff was in place, right? And then I get the train to go to the city that I was going to be working in the next day. I get there and lights are off in the hotel. And they literally said, I'm sorry, but you can't stay here tonight. And this was 6:30 p.m. So I'm like, hang on, I have half an hour. I'm supposed to be going live. I'm supposed to be going live. Like, forget I need somewhere to sleep tonight. I need to go live in half an hour. So, Kirubai, thank you for being so understanding about last week. But I'm
Not
so
at all,
glad
not
that
at
this
all.
week things have worked out. And yes, I'm in another hotel. But thankfully, like, look at it, the internet's working. We have shown up. So the electricity's on. So grateful to God. And I'm excited for today's conversation because, um, you know, beginnings, endings sometimes can be bittersweet, but they're necessary. So, Kirubai, do you want to bring us into this conversation?
Well, the title of our topic today is New Beginnings, Necessary Endings. And I think, many of you know that we are women of faith. And I've got to plug this in because, you know, this is the first day of the Jewish New Year, which is
Wow.
Rosh Hashanah. And so it is very apt that we talk about new beginnings. And the theme for this year, the Jewish calendar, is extend your tent pegs, Isaiah 54.
Ooh, come on, come on. Okay.
Yeah. So, extending our tent pegs, when they Apparently, when they pull those 10 pegs, it is, the tent is flat, and, it kind of, when it pulls, it's actually animal skin, and it pulls it, and it just comes a buffoon, and it comes up.
Mm.
But the tension, it's all about the past tension. It's all about the new tension that God is going to take us through.
Wow, come on.
So the tensions that we have felt last year, it's not it will weigh us down this year because there are new things coming.
Hmm. Yeah, you're reminding me
So
of that song, Kirubai.
what song? Sorry.
The song that they played a lot at a Glow conference. I got a new thing coming,
Yes, that's
new
right.
thing coming. Yeah, that one. Sorry, keep
So
going.
there, yeah, sorry. So this new thing that is coming for us cannot come. We have to make room. Making room is one of your favorite subjects, Elizabeth.
Mm, mm.
Making room. And the baggages of the last year, according to the Jewish calendar, we have to leave it down. We have to let it rest. It
Mm.
has to die. And 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 Elizabeth, I think one of the things is we are preparing our viewers before the Gregorian calendar ends in December.
That's it. That's it.
So take it on, my sister.
Kirubai, do you wanna say a bit more, speak a bit more into this new year, like from the Hebraic calendar? Because I think that's actually quite important. Like you've talked
Yes.
about the I think I want to call it the year of enlargement, like stretching
Yes.
out,
Mhm.
and enlarging your territory, because that scripture is actually really powerful. And it's there was something I posted today that God doesn't want us to do. He's not just calling us to play small. He wants us to shine. And I think when we talk about enlarging your tent, enlarging, stretching out, it's a realization that there is more to what God is calling you to do. Like you have greater capacity, and all He's saying is stretch out a little, stretch out a little. And actually, as you stretch, you then get used to that position, and then you stretch out a bit more, you stretch out a bit more. Oh, our sister all the way from America, hi Bernice, thank you for joining
Hi,
us.
bunnies.
So the idea of like stretch out in your mind, stretch out in your activity, stretch out in the way that you are doing things. And if we all sort of looked forward to the next Gregorian calendar year, right? 2026, with a mindset of stretching out. Like stretch that vision board, stretch that plan that you have for the next year. Because actually, God is saying, let's make room. Make room. Because when you make room, you are showing me that you have greater capacity. And because you have greater capacity, guess what? I'm going to fill it. I'm going to feel it. So, ladies, gentlemen, whoever's joining us this evening, it's time to make room. Kirubai said, I love talking about making room, right? And for me, one of the key things is I think God has really impressed it on my heart that whenever I do an event, I am making room for Him. So, like the song says, I will make room for you to do whatever you want to. So it's making room in my business. How can I make room in my life? How can I make room? And yes, as we make room, there's some junk that needs to come out of the trunk. There's some junk that we need to get rid of. So I'm excited. So Kirubai, we've got this title, beginnings, endings. Let's talk a bit more about that.
Okay. So it is the year 5786 in the Hebrewic year. So it is an opportunity to determine your path for the year ahead. It is a time to bring the old season to completion. So the necessary endings and stepped into the new. So
Wow.
wherever you are, if you're sitting or standing or you are walking around listening, prophetically take a step into the new from one position to the other because you're declaring that I'm taking my new position. Yes, we can't because we are facing a camera, but we will do it after we finish our 1 hour of chit chat and breaking this down. So prophetically, you need to seize this time
Mm.
because it is your time.
Oof.
It is your time, and the time is given to you. And the Lord says, the delay is over.
Come
The
on.
delay of
Amen.
the past is over. Maybe there are some disappointments that you have gone through.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the disappointments a lot of people are going through is maybe in a relationship, in your job situation, in your family situation. You might be facing disappointments. You might be going through a divorce, marriage breakdown. Lots of people are going through this, but you're not a failure because Lord says that is of the past. You got something new coming, and He's planting new things in your heart now. There are new seeds this new season for that expansion that's coming. When they put the tent pegs through the soil, it is actually not an easy job. How would they do it when in the days of old in a desert situation? How could they have held it deep down without the whole tent collapsing? So the tent peg must have been very, very deep, Elizabeth. Give it a thought. So God is going to do a new thing, a deep thing, and it's going to be good. We can't be surfaced people anymore. So it is time for us to rise up in our profession, in our family life, and also our intimacy and our relationship with God. So, Elizabeth, as a pastor, what would you say of that? We are getting very spiritual today.
It seems today is going to be a prophetic conversation, but hey, I'm up for it. I'm up for it. No, thank you very much, Kirubai. You know, as you were talking about like um making that peg go deeper and deeper, um, and I think it was just for me it's a reflection of something has to happen inside, right? Because if you're stretching out, that peg, the depth of that peg will determine how stable that tent becomes,
Mhm,
isn't it?
mhm,
So
mhm,
there's a deep work, like you say, that has to happen. So as much as this stretching out, there's a very physical intentional action to it, but there is also an inside work that needs to happen. Like there was something I touched on when I spoke at the Kingdompreneurs Summit in June, and I say that like whatever we are doing has to flow from the inside out. So there has to be an inner conviction. There has to be an inner work. There has to be an inner letting go that happens. So for all the new beginnings, when we think about, well, what do I have to let go in order to receive this new thing? And we can look at Isaiah 43, where it talks about, behold, I do a new thing. Do you not see it? Do you not perceive it? But it says, looking not at the former things, the things of old. So you have to, I love the illustration of someone who is running. With the world championships have been taking place. I love the illustration of someone who is running. If you are running while looking behind, you're going to miss it. You're not going to run as fast as you want to run if you keep looking behind. Now, you could even look at it like from a relay perspective. When they are handing over the baton, you might look behind, but you don't focus on what's behind, because the person that's handing the baton to you, their responsibility is to get that baton in your hand. Your responsibility is to focus on the journey that is ahead of you. So when we're talking about new beginnings, I can't fully step into a new beginning if I do not let go of the things of old. And sometimes the things of old might be a way of thinking. It might be a way of doing things. You've always done this thing and it has always worked. Fine. But could there be a better way? Just maybe there's a better way of doing things. Why not give it a try? You know, there's a saying out there, and I'm not going to quote who it's attributed to because I will get it wrong. But you can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, right? So the things of old, the ways of old, the strategies of the old, maybe you need to let go of those so that you can embrace the new things. There's a saying out there that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but actually there are lots of old dogs who are learning new tricks because they have realized that there's some ways of thinking that we need to move with. We need to do things differently. Like, let's talk about AI, for example, right? Now, you can hate AI all you want. You can say AI is the devil's tool. You can say all you want to say about AI. But the reality is AI is here. And once you learn how to use it, it can work in your favor. So you can't sit there and say, "Oh, I'll never touch AI." Just maybe.
It's automatically being updated in our computers, in our mobiles. What can you do?
Exactly. Your mobile phone has some AI technology in it.
Yes, that's right.
So get rid of your phone then.
So yeah, but to be using AI responsibly, it's very important. You
That's
know,
it.
yeah. And life is full of making choices and making the right choices. It's okay if you make the wrong choice. Turn back
Mm,
from the place you started and move forward.
mm.
Mm, don't no no don't ever go through this naysayers. Oh, you made a mistake, you have made a mistake, you're doomed, doom and gloom. No, lay everything down, say a little prayer, and move on. Move on. Elizabeth, today you were talking about leaving the past, and we were talking about forgiveness. I think a lot of women, they are stuck in that rut of not letting go of the unforgiveness. And it's one of the biggest cancers, and it's one of the biggest drawbacks of you progressing.
I don't think we realize how powerful forgiveness is.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes we think by not forgiving someone, I am going to, like, it's going to impact them, but actually it's impacting you. You not forgiving, it's like you are tying yourself down to this thing, and there is only so far that you can go. And there's some people that will say, "Hey, do you know what this person did to me? I will never forgive them." There are people like that. But there has to come a point in your life where you release, where you let go, because some cycles will never be broken until you learn to forgive, until you learn to let go. There's some places there's some heights you might never reach until you learn to let go, until you learn to forgive. Now, on Sunday, during the memorial service for Charlie, it was an amazing example by his wife Erica to say, I'm going to forgive. She could have so much hate, but yet she chooses to forgive. You choosing to forgive puts the power in your hands. You're not being controlled by somebody.
That's right.
And, Kirubai mentioned something, and I think let me just touch on it a bit, is that sometimes some illnesses that we're having, or some internal issues we're having, are a result of the bitterness and the unforgiveness that we are harboring on the inside of us. And some of us, those of us who are faith people, we go and we pray, and we are praying and we are praying, but we forget that the Bible says that don't come if you're carrying unforgiveness. Like, go and repent, go and make up with your brother or your sister. Don't come with unforgiveness in your heart and be expecting God to just hear you and answer straight away. You might be wondering, why am I experiencing delay? Maybe search your heart. Lord, am I holding anything against somebody? And this goes for all of us. As I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. Like, is there any unforgiveness in my heart? Lord, search my heart. If there is unforgiveness, show me, like, highlight it to me so I can deal with it. And like I said, there's some places that you cannot get to until you let go of this weight, let go of this baggage of unforgiveness. What forgiveness will do, forgiveness will bring freedom. Forgiveness will make it like you will feel lighter. There will be such a weight that is lifted. Emotionally, you will feel it. So I encourage anyone that's listening to this that while we are looking at new beginnings and looking at necessary endings, like, really search your heart, search yourself. And, are there some people that I'm holding? And if so, can you let go of these people? One time I had to ask myself if I had unforgiveness in my heart, um, because there was someone who had offended me. And I remember a particular Sunday being in church. We were in the same church. Funny enough, we lived together. Um, we're in the same church. Things had, like, our relationship had really gone like this, and I didn't know why. But she was literally saying I was part of the reason. So I'm like, okay, well, it takes two to tango. So hey, um, and it was like she avoided me. Which is weird because we're in the same church, we're in the same house. Like, so you're avoiding me? There's just the two of us in the house. But anyway, one Sunday, sat in church, and there was a message that was preached, and I think the message was on unforgiveness, or it was on showing God's love. And I just, in my spirit, there was I don't necessarily want to call it a voice, but don't leave this place until you have given her a hug. Oh, Kirubai, that was one of the hardest hugs I've ever given. It was one of the hardest hugs I've ever given. But before I said hi to everybody, I did all the things I needed to do. But right before I left, I said, Elizabeth, you can't leave this place. If you're saying you have forgiven, then this is your act of showing that you have forgiven and you have let go. And I went and I gave her a hug and I walked away. I felt lighter. I felt free. I felt I had done my part. I'm like, the ball is in your court now. I have done my bit. So I think we need to realize that letting go and forgiveness, particularly, is going to make things lighter. Imagine you're trying to lift something, but it's tied to the ground, right? You're trying to lift it, but it's tied to the ground. Well, there is only so far you're going to lift it because it's tied to the ground. But if you cut those ties to the ground, then you can lift it even higher. So, what do you need to let go of so you can fully embrace the new beginnings that are coming? Because they are coming. They are coming. Over to you, Kirubai.
Thank you for sharing that incident, because I think part of us always want to begrudge the person who has hurt us. And so, unforgiveness, bitterness, anger, jealousy. And one of the ladies, I think it's her name is Caroline Leaf. She's written lots of books and lots of videos and YouTubes talking about um, all these things that weigh us down because it brings us sickness, things that doctors can't solve, a pill can't solve. But it is once you clear it, you feel freedom and liberty. Thank you for reminding me because one of the things I felt when, in the month of July after coming back and not feeling well, God actually asked me to search my heart for things that were lingering because He's a good God. He always nudges us to things that um, that He wants us to deal with. He's always bringing it to our remembrance. And when in July, He did ask me to search my heart. And one of the things He said is because when I came back, there was people who promised me that they will work with me before I left. But then when I came back in July, they were not firming up some appointments for some coaching lessons, and I was getting very frustrated. But I knew that the Lord held it back because He wanted me to do some deep diving within myself. So He is very, very, very good. Hi, Adeline.
Hi, Adeline.
So so I had to sort those things away, really looking into my heart. And you know what? After I let go, and in I think it was end of August, they said, "Oh, we kind of forgot, it was summer, and we would like to take some coaching lessons from you." So it came a full circle. So I said, "Oh God, you're so good, you're always sorting us out. He loves us. He loves us. So He's always sorting us out." Yeah. So unforgiveness is one big bolt that just sits here like a lump of fat. So a lump of fat. Yeah. So another point that we really need to think about is mindset, Elizabeth. And having the right mindset to push us through for the new beginnings this coming Hebrew New Year, and also to the Gregorian New Year, Gregorian year that we are going to celebrate end of December. So we have a couple of more months to work on ourselves.
You're right.
So
You're right.
if you need some coaching and if you need to really get your mind sorted, please do not forget to get in touch with us because we want to start January with a big bang.
No, that's good. And as you're speaking, one of the things I'm reminded of is going back to the Bible, the children of Israel, when they left Egypt and they went around the mountain so many times. But there was a mindset that they needed to let go of in order for them to embrace the promised land. So there are some promises that God has given you. There's some things that probably God has spoken to you about in times past. Or maybe He has sent someone to give you a prophetic word. And maybe you have a journal somewhere that has these prophetic words written. Maybe you've got them on your phone. I don't know. But I want you to think about what are the things that you need to let go of for you to fully walk in that word, for you to walk in the fullness of what God has spoken over you. Because if you're, like Kirubai said, like Coach K said, if your mindset is not in the right place, the children of Israel could not get into this promised land. Their mindset was not in the right place. They had the slavery mentality, and that needed to be drawn out, that needed to be taken out, so that they do not destroy the new thing that was coming. And that's the reality, is that sometimes our old ways, they do not serve us anymore. Like those old ways, those old mindsets, maybe they served you in the previous season, but as you are coming into a new season, what is the new mindset you need to embrace? Is God bringing you into a new environment? What are your thoughts? What are your perceptions? What is your strategy? How are you going to carry yourself? How are you going to posture yourself? Because new environments might require new ways of thinking. There's new beginnings. Like, for example, if you get married, you can't have the same mindset that you had when you were single. That has to change. Otherwise, the marriage will not work. The marriage will be destroyed. So we destroy the new thing that God is bringing us into when we don't let go and fully embrace, when we don't let God release those things. And there's power in having a teachable spirit. Every great leader has to be teachable. They have to be teachable. And being teachable means that you are open to looking at things from a different perspective. You are open to other ideas. It's not just about, this is how I've always done it, so this is how we will do it. There might be an easier way. There might be a quicker way. There might be a cheaper way of doing it. I don't know. But you have to be open to seeing things from a different perspective. And when we talk about endings and beginnings, we can even look at like leadership structures. You know, the leadership structure you had back then, it might not suit you in this season because things are shifting, because the people that you're serving, like they're shifting, they're changing. Maybe you're serving a different demographic now, so you can't lead like in the times of old. What do you need to change? What do you need to shift? So I want to believe that we are all leaders in some capacity, right? Whether we are self leaders, like leading ourselves, or we are leading a team of people, we are leading in business, we are leading in ministry, we are leading in the home, whatever capacity we are leading in. As a leader, you can't be rigid and say, this is the only way. This is how we do it. This is the only way we will ever do it. You have to be open to change. What if the people you're serving change? Then what? Do you work with them, or do you tell them it's my way or the highway? A leader who says it's my way or the highway is a leader who is not teachable, is a leader who is not open to seeing things from a different perspective. And that's not the leader you should be. If you want to grow the people following you, then you have to be open to even listening to them, hearing them out. Sometimes we think we know what's best. Sometimes we think we know it best. As a mother, sometimes I have to listen to my daughter. Then I change the way I'm leading because I'm listening to her, because I'm being present with her. It's not just, this is the way I was raised, so this is the way I'm going to raise you. No, we are in a different environment. We are in different times. Look at our kids today. They are dealing with the pressure of social media, mental health. I was in a school last week and a young lady said, one of the things I need to change about myself is that I need to start coming to lessons. In my head, how are you going to excel in school if you don't come to lessons? The reality is, we are living in a day and age where there's a lot of kids who are struggling because of anxiety, because of mental health related issues, maybe issues going on at home, maybe issues going on at school. They're struggling. Ask in any school, most schools have an issue of attendance.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
news to me.
they don't want to go to school. They're just at home. And teachers are having to chase up. Where is this child? Where is this child? Why is your child not in school? This girl, she was very like, she allowed herself to be vulnerable. She said, I get anxious. I get anxious. I'm struggling. And so I talked to her about like getting help. What help are you getting? And she say, you know what? I have so much support. I'm getting all the support I can get. So I just need to try harder. So if you are
Sorry, just a
somebody who
question here, Elizabeth. How old was this child?
15.
15. Okay. That's so sad.
So if you are somebody who's grown up in a different generation, that might look weird to you. Like, what? You don't want to go to school because of what? Like, you might not understand it. So in order to lead people like that, you have to understand them. You have to try and see from their perspective and see how you can meet at a middle ground. It's the reality that we are living in today.
Well, yeah, because we're dealing with Gen Zs and Gen X, and we are baby boomers. They think very differently, and they're susceptible to a lot of different environments. As you said,
Mm,
I was just thinking, if I had gone in yesteryears, when I would have told my mom, I don't feel like going, I got anxiety, I could probably get clobbered in the head. Those methods don't work anymore
mm.
because of the pressures that the children are going through. And you, Janaya, is a Gen X, is
I'm
it?
not even sure. I need to look up all that stuff every
Yeah,
time.
because it's very interesting that there's so many different uh, labels for these children, and each each age groups, they go through different challenges that they are facing, and we as adults coming from a different generation, I think we need to be very, very, I wouldn't say tolerant. We have to empathize with them, and be sympathetic and understand what they are talking, and that's what communication is so important.
Mm,
Communication is so important. And so one of the other things that I think that's really that's bothers us as adults and young people is the connection that they lose because of all the distractions that they're having. And it saddens me that so many children, this is news to me because we don't have children, so we do not know what they are going through. And parents, because they are so caught up with running lives, making ends meet, and parents having 2 or 3 jobs and not being able to connect with the children, with conversations and really looking into things that really brings down their mood, or whatever they're struggling with. And connection is so important
mm,
as adults. We need to connect with our children, and even in the office, team. There's so much of emphasis on working in a team. And if you fail in a team at home, you will definitely fail in a team at work.
mm.
Team building is so important. So wherever there are gaps in our lives, I think we need to find solution to be the better person, to have better beginning this year consciously. So one of the points that I've written is deep self awareness.
Mm,
So where is the gap that is you have to look for a solution. There's a lot of solution out there. It's whether you want to stop and have a look at it or not.
you're right. Self-awareness is very important as we're moving forward, as we're pressing forward in different things, and self-awareness takes humility as well, because you have to get to a point where you acknowledge, actually, these are the things that I could be better in, and I'm failing. or these are the things I need help in, or these are the areas maybe where I'm thriving. Like just getting into a place of greater self-awareness. It takes being present with yourself. That's important. Sometimes we are scared of our own company, and we don't want to spend time with ourselves. But actually spending time with yourself, asking yourself questions, getting a coach. Yes, a coach will ask you questions, but also being able to take time for self-reflection. What can I do better over the next coming months of 2025, whatever's left of 2025? How can I be better? What do I need to change? What do I need to let go? What new thing do I need to start doing in order for me to become the person I want to become, the person God wants me to become? What's the new thing what do I need to learn? What do I need to unlearn? Because for some of us, it's a lot of unlearning before we can learn the new thing. But we have to recognize and acknowledge where our failings are, and see how, like Kirubai said, how we can fill the gap. John Maxwell in the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth talks about growth gap traps. What are those traps that are holding you back? Because that can slow you down from stepping into that new thing. For some, like he says, it's a timing gap. Like, I'm not, it's not the right time, it's not the right time. And that's our excuse. Like, there's something new in front of you, you're afraid to step into it. Your excuse is, oh, it's not the right time yet. But actually, what if it's the right time? Are you ready to do the work to get to ensure that yes, it is the right time for this? What do you need to do? What questions do you need to ask yourself? What actions do you need to take? Being able to sit down with yourself and have a moment of reflection and just look at where are my failings? Where could I be better? What can I improve on? What can I do differently? It can make a difference.
Mm. And I think if you need an added help, get in touch with God. I think by by us, I mean, let me not, even I need it. I think even Elizabeth needs it. We need a hand at, at let me articulate it in a very proper way. I think we all need help, supernatural help, that is getting in touch with our spirituality. As as you know, once again, I will say we are women of faith. We know where we can reach out for help. And if you are out there struggling to reach out for help in the area of spirituality, you can always reach out to Elizabeth or myself, because we are happy to pray for you, a prayer of blessing, a prayer of release in these areas, because we all need help.
Mhm.
So I urge you to lay down. And if there is a difficulty for you, you're struggling with laying down your burdens in these areas, you can always reach out to us. And it is spirituality is nothing so magnanimous. It's as simple as ABC, I would say.
Mm.
And it's getting in touch with your maker and telling him to come and look into the things that are painful for you. And I guarantee you that he will. I know it's a sobering thought, but hey, he's there. He's beside us. He's even listening to this conversation. So be determined that you want to be a different person
Mm.
for this new year. So, like what Elizabeth was reminded of this song. I'm reminded of this very old chorus called Change My Heart, oh God. Do you remember that song?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a very old song. So ask God to change your heart because it from the heart stems all the issues of life.
Hmm. And out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Oh, yep. So what do you feel inside just
It
spews
spews
out.
out.
Yeah, spews out. So yeah, let's be these people that because it's there is something special coming for you and me, and there is something that is waiting for you to embrace and to conquer
Mm.
because it's already packed within your DNA. I was listening to a message yesterday, and it said, how long is our DNA? It is 4 times from the Earth to the Sun. 4 times our DNA. Can you imagine that much of beauty the Lord has created us? The DNA is so powerful. And it's unique for Elizabeth. It's unique for me. It's unique for each one of us. And God has packed it all up. Our DNA is good. So half the things that is packed in our DNA, we are not even realized it. So imagine you're fearfully and wonderfully made for such a time as this.
That's it.
So realize your dream. Come on now. We all carry a dream. Elizabeth does a good program called Realizing the Dream. Right, Elizabeth?
Something like that.
So yeah. Wow. Let me keep my mouth shut. No,
Okay, in the nicest
can't
possible
hear
way,
you.
Kirubai. So, so I think we're coming to an end of this conversation, and I know today we came spiritually heavy. We went prophetic. We threw some Christianese in there, but well and truly, if there is anything that you have listened to in this conversation that has hit a spot for you and you want to have a deeper conversation or you want to just unpack it a bit more, like Coach K said, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. And if you have a community of women, young people that you would like us to come and have these conversations with, then also please feel free to reach out to us, because we don't just want to do this online, but we also want to do this in physical spaces. We want to have these confidence culture conversations in physical spaces, with communities of people who want to grow, who want to develop further, who want to let go, of old things and just really embrace the new things that God is bringing into their hands. And I think we started off with talking about, aside from just kind of talking a bit about what we had been up to, but Coach Kirubai mentioned about the Hebraic New Year, which starts today. Um, there's something very prophetic in that, and you might not be a spiritual person and you're listening to this and you're thinking, what's this about? But you can go and Google, and something will come up and you
Yeah.
can read into it, and there's so much that you can unpack in it. But I want you to be hopeful. Be hopeful that the new beginnings that are coming are going to be new beginnings of peace, going to be new beginnings of joy, new beginnings of abundance. So let go of the old way of doing things, the old way of thinking, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you're expecting the new things that are coming to be of abundance, of joy, of peace, let go of that stinking thinking, because your life is going to move in the direction of your strongest thoughts. So start embracing the new. Start thinking about, how do I become? What needs to change? Are there some habits that I need to let go of? Are there some new habits that I need? Are there some environments that I need to let go of so I can step into better environments? Because some things are not meant for a lifetime, they're meant for a season. And we need to be sensitive enough to understand when the season is over
Oh,
and walk
yes.
away. You need to learn there's a time when the season is over. I've had a lot of friendships in the past that have just kind of fizzled out, and I got to realize the season is over. The season is over. That doesn't mean you cut them off, but it means that the way you relate in this season might not be the way we related before. And there's something powerful about where God is taking you. Not everyone can come with you.
Mm.
So some necessary endings might be letting go of certain relationships so you can step into the new stuff. So you can embrace the new season that God is bringing you into. And I think on that note, we are going to end it. But thank you so much for joining today's conversation. Like, share, subscribe, invite other people to join us. We will be back next week, Tuesday, Kirubai.
That's right.
Okay, we will be back next week, Tuesday. We are on episode 98. So we're about to clock 100, right? We're about to clock 100 episodes of Confidence Culture Conversations. And wow, what a journey it has been. And we are grateful. We're grateful for your support, because we wouldn't be having these conversations if you were not tuning in and encouraging us and supporting us. So thank you for being our cheerleaders. Thank you for being present. And honestly, I see the viewers are increasing as we are about to finish, but please feel free to put some comments and we will respond to your comments. Whenever you watch it, whether it's on catch up, whatever it is, just because we're not live at that instant doesn't mean you can't still enjoy the richness of the conversation. So go back, listen into the conversation, because there's some things that we unpacked there that might help you in this new season that you are coming into. But thank you so much for joining us. We've had people joining from Uganda, from Malaysia, from America, from here in the UK. And we know that Confidence Culture Conversations are going to be airing in India as well. So like this is the conversation that is not just happening in one space, it is happening on a global platform. So thank you so much for supporting us. Kirubai, do you have anything else to say? Otherwise we're shutting down.
Yes. Thank you once again. See you next week as we explore a new topic.
Absolutely, and I look forward to seeing what that new topic will be. God bless you.